Aloha HGTV. I'm Jack Whitfield. Welcome to my home. Come check it out. I'm a sustainable builder, building with what is as sustainable and local as possible, using local sustainable material and creating these healing homes that give back to the earth, to the aina, and also to the families, the inhabitants. This home is located on our non-profit campus where we have regenerative farming, we have a building facility, we have other families helping. So we have various little homes on the property, all built with local sustainable material. It's a community-based project, so it's really like a family that really helps showcase alternative living. This home is primarily built with Albizia. It's an invasive tree species, so part of our non-profit mission is to transform these trees into homes, helping create a sustainable solution out of perceived problems. So these timbers were all milled from the land here, and it's a timber frame kind of post and beam style. This home's about 600 square feet. I live here with my little baby Rise, my partner Anna, and my two kids Mika and Taj. It is a tiny home, or it's actually technically a small home. My understanding, a small home and a tiny home differs from square footage. So about 300 onwards to 900 is a small home, tiny is 300 and less. For the most part, I built this home myself. To keep the costs down, doing it yourself is a great way. In essence, it's a dining room, a living room, it's kind of a play, wrestle time, read books, whatever. Not all these rooms and all this space, but we're so connected to nature that really our living flows into nature. So we have these gardens and we have, you know, so much to play with outside, including the neighboring beautiful beaches that really, this kind of living we find easy because there's so much more to just being in a little box, if you will. It really flows to the outside. So it feels very expansive even though it's a smaller home, which really is the key, especially having kids. Yeah, so being creative in a small home is important. To have multifunctional spaces, this bookshelf and these stairs come together. My son calls them the stealths. So in essence, it's a nice way to get up to his room. It's small, it's cozy, but it has his Lego, his drum set, his musical stuff, his bed, his place for his schoolwork. It's great. That also has a use for certain books and clothes and storage and such. It's good to make functional art. I love the fact that we can create artwork or these beautiful features in the home that have a function. I feel that's the blend, and that's part of my service, is to create functional art. Around the corner here we have Mika, my daughter's room. This is a 10 by 10 bedroom. It's still utilizing the Albizia. So the Albizia is these beautiful gray trees, gray barked trees out here. And so once we mill it, we get this really beautiful blonde timber. And they kind of snap into this post design like a Lego. But we're really loving it for various reasons, and to utilize this tree that is so abundant and so huge. From one tree we can build a house, and then planting a lot more fruit trees and native trees in those areas. And then myself, Anna, and my baby, we stay up here in the loft. There's lots of offcuts in the construction industry. There's a lot of waste, so how do we turn that waste into something usable? This is mostly reclaimed and or just salvaged. So we go and find these pieces and they're already art. They're already grown to perfection. We just kind of let them steer the design, like really honoring this creation and nature, and we're just kind of assisting and bringing that into a home. A lot of live edge. This is a monkey pod, local species here. We go with the kids and bring home all kinds of beautiful driftwood creations. So these steps are more of a multifunctional. When you're living in a small space, multifunction, how can we have it used for many different things? So we added storage to these. So in essence, we can have a kitchen that is small, but at the same time, you've got enough space to live comfortably. This is a concrete countertop. This is my blend of more of a sustainable concrete countertop. We're using beach sand and coral. That's how come it's this kind of nice lighter tone. Also, we love the crystals, so we infuse them with some custom crystals. This is an interesting window. This window is a tabletop, a tempered glass tabletop that essentially just rolls open. So again, small kitchen, small home, but if we can have it kind of flow and be open to the outside, it feels very expansive. Our reclaimed cedar sliding doors, lots of windows. We also have a wood-burning stove, which is great. You know, it helps dry things out, and we love to cook on it as well. This is a fun little cozy loft. So rather than having a loft that has a solid ceiling or floor, we just had this net. So basically it's another level. You can go up, read, you know, take a blanket or some pillows and kind of chill. Especially with kids and having a smaller home, to have that multi-tiered use, I feel is great. All right, come check out the bathroom. So here we have freestanding tub. We have a little shower here. We also have an outdoor shower. This crazy piece of driftwood I kind of dragged along the beach, floating it through the waves to get it back to the truck. We do have some curtains, but for the most part, it's open and exposed to the outside. So we have the jungle here, and the stream runs just below the home here. We also have some chickens that we're raising and some of the orchard over here. So when you're in the tub, it's nice just to, you know, look out and have that kind of connection. But it is nice, especially in a day like today, to have a nice warm soak. We love it and really appreciate this bathroom. It's kind of brings some joy to the family for sure. Okay, let's head over to the wood shop where we make all these homes. So this is the workshop. This is the wood shop where we do most of the crazy creations. This is where I spend most of my days. We're in here out of the sun and out of the rain. It's a nice little shelter that helps us be productive. The tools all laid out, and we also have an area where we can bring in trailers and tiny homes and such to utilize this space. Come check it out. So over here is my baby and my beloved. Thank you, boo-boo. How are you? Oh, is it raining? You getting wet?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, it's a wet morning, huh?
Yes.
Thank you. You want to sit? Oh. Oh, yum. Is that good? Mm. Thank you, Mama. Thank you. And we have a lower section here where we can bring in different trailers or take structures out of this area. A trailer comes in underneath it and it can be moved. We do often do tiny homes on wheels where it's built on the trailer. This is the Lotus. It's a beautiful kind of A-frame, but it's got the more feminine kind of curves to it. It's fun to play around with more organic shapes, more of nature-inspired curves rather than just the dimensional rectangle kind of boxes that's such a standard kind of cookie-cutter creation that we mostly build in the Western world. So there'll be a built-in custom couch left and right. There'll be kind of a dining table, but at a bar height here. So this will be a full-length custom kitchen here with the sink in the middle. And then this dining table, we'll actually go mill it up in a moment here and bring it in. We like the clean lines, but then have the organic kind of run through it so it complements each other. It's a nice synergy. It's interesting how it does feel bigger. It's only a 10 by 20, so 10 feet by 20. So 200 square feet is the floor plan. But because it kind of bellies out, you know, it kind of gives it that spaciousness. It's a crazy piece of driftwood it's so beautiful. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. If you want to learn more, check out soulprojects.com and we'll be in touch. Blessings.
This is a 2005 built home. We're actually the only homeowners. So if I had to describe my home in 3 words, I would say it's layered, it's textured, and it's cozy. I'm LaQuita Tate, and this is my HGTV home tour here in Memphis, Tennessee. So I actually have 2 full-time jobs. I am the Chief Academic Officer for a charter organization here in Memphis, and I'm also a full-time interior designer. I just love both of them and how both of them actually inspires my space. I'm definitely on the more modern side, but I do like to mix in vintage pieces. I love mid-century modern furniture. My base is typically neutral. Definitely gonna have some prints or some mixed patterns. I definitely want it to be a place that I can come home, I can retreat to, it's my safe haven, and that I'm just like, this is mine. So as you walk in the front door, this is my entryway. I love this credenza because of course it has texture, and I'm really big on texture. I have styled this space with my favorite coffee table books, and then of course artwork, because artwork is big in my home. I feel like the artwork in a space needs to speak to the owner, speaks to who you are. So you walk around, you see art, you see a lot of Black art. I'm a Black female, you know, with a Black family. So I want you to be able to see that when you come into my home. This is just a canvas, and it's just neutral, abstract, and I've coupled it and layered it with another favorite artist, Monica Lewis, another abstract, and then Christina Martinez did these mini prints. And I like plants that kind of like either go over, like in a bush, or that vines. And so I think it gives a very nice architectural type feel to the space. And so your eye just kind of draws into the different areas that's on my credenza. So when you come off the entryway, you enter into the living room, and the first thing you see is these grand 20-foot ceilings, as well as my tricorn black, my favorite paint by Sharon Williams, painted on the walls. So when we first moved in, everything was beige, basic, beige, and boring. And it was like that for quite some time. And so this is also typically the first room, if people come through the front door, that you see. And so this is the first room that I worked on. And then as you can see how I've styled my living room is with this gallery wall here. Again, some of my favorite artists. This painting and these 2 are by a local artist here, Danny Broadway. You also see Monica Lewis artwork, and then Christina Martinez, who I can't rave enough about. The furniture is a mix of different textures. So you have a cream couch that's velvet, and then you have these oversized black leather chairs. I absolutely love the table because it is printed, and so you see everything else is kind of clean lines and solid, and then you have this oversized coffee table that has patterns in it. Just love this particular area here. I would sit in this chair and read books and just stay here for quite some time, and so my husband typically will find me in this space. So I decided to paint my fireplace the same favorite color as the rest of the room, and my favorite tricorn black. I also decided to paint all of the trim around the base of the walls and around the windows, because I just wanted to disappear, and anything that I display takes center stage. And remember, this space was all beige, but now it stands out. So, welcome to my home office. Here in this space right behind me are bookcases that I actually DIY'd. I painted them tricorn black, my favorite. And so on both of the shelves, you can just see I have books I've read. There's artwork, there's plants. These are some beautiful canned art. This is an artist from social media that I found. So I have a couple of her pieces. This piece here is by that artist, as well as the piece in the corner, and I just love it. Again, I believe that art should represent the person that lives here. At the time I didn't have locks. I have locks now, but at the time I had a loose natural, so I actually used to wear my hair in that style, and I felt like that was a silhouette of me in a sense. This painting here is my absolute favorite in the whole house. This is a painting of my mother's mom, my grandmother, who passed away when I was pretty young. She was pretty young as well. This is by a local artist here, Francis, and I love the color. What happened was I posted this actual photo of my grandmother on her birthday, and Francis saw it and immediately reached out to me because it connected with her in some way. And so she was like, Quita, I have to do a painting of your grandmother. Do you mind? Absolutely not. I would love it. And so out came this original piece of artwork, and I just absolutely love it. And it's right across from my desk. And so I'm able to look up, get inspiration, and continue to work. And over on this side is my desk. It's an oversized desk, but I absolutely love it because you can look down and you can see the rug here with these geometric and different shapes on the floor. I have two different patterns here. This is a cowhide desk chair, and then as you can see, here is my pillow, which is a very different pattern here, but it works in this room. This wall gives me a lot of inspiration when I'm doing my interior design work. It's full of tiles, it's full of fabric samples, there's some wallpaper samples, and then different paint chips so I can decide on what colors I may want to play with at a client's house. There's just some books and some things that I'm most proud of. And this is actually a picture of me when I earned my PhD back in 2016. So took pictures, and so I put that there because to me that's a major accomplishment. So my third car garage has been turned into our workout room, but I wanted some vintage gloves for that space, but when I saw them on another designer had some in her home, and I said, where did you get those? And she said, oh, I have an extra pair, you want me to send them to you? So you sent them to me, and I loved them so much. And so I also think that it kind of ties in with the Frida Kahlo, that it says not fragile like a flower, so it makes me think about, you know, women not boxing physically, but that you're always in the fight. You gotta stay the course and come out on top of whatever it is that you choose to do, whatever goals you set for yourself. So in the kitchen is definitely one of my favorites. You know, they say the kitchen is the heart of the home, and I definitely believe that because all the love is poured into the meals here. The first thing that I did was change the light fixture, as well as brought in a mobile island so that I can prepare some meals and prepare the food. But I changed out my countertops for the butcher block countertops, and I changed out this backsplash. The simplest and easiest thing you can do is just paint things. Paint your walls, paint your ceiling, paint your cabinets. And so I have this beautiful green color on our lowers, and then we kept white, or painted it white for our uppers. And then as you continue on around the kitchen, I have a bar situation, because who doesn't like a cocktail on a Friday night or any night? We have entered my breakfast nook, and I absolutely love this room. When we first came in and saw this space, we noticed this circular area of the breakfast nook, and we just fell in love with it immediately and knew this was our home. We wanted to elevate it though just a little bit, so we painted it this beautiful green color. I wanted to play up this curved of the breakfast nook, so I got this velvet modular green sofa and this beautiful wood table, and it has texture on the base, and then have these curves of the chair. So I wanted to continue that theme throughout this space. And again, as I always have, I elevated with art as well. So you will notice artwork, and so I just elevated by having the same color mat in the same frame. Also have greenery and plants around the space. So my bedroom is my latest home makeover space, and I absolutely love it. I spend many nights here, days when I get off work to decompress. So here I have my beautiful green velvet bed, and I have these different texture pillows on it as well with the different patterns. And of course, like I said before, black has to be in every space. So you have your black leather pillow against the velvet green pillow and the headboard as well. And so if you look behind my headboard, is this beautiful wallpaper. It is a collaboration with Chase Paper and David Quarles, and it's just beautiful and it just pops. And so I picked up the colors of the wallpaper in my wall. So I actually have 3 colors in this space in my tray ceiling. So the top ceiling is a blue, and then the tray part of it is a different type of beige, and then the walls is more ivory and cream. And then my nightstands, I absolutely love them. These are 2 modern vintage nightstands. I did want those to match, but I wanted them to be different from the bed and different from the dresser. And again, have texture here in a different variety of the wood tones. On this side of the room, you will see this floating mountain credenza. I didn't want anything to take away from this space, so I didn't want a big credenza that came all the way down. Plus, I wanted to also display some artwork. So what I decided to do, I have artwork here on the floor. Any space is open for artwork. I wanted this space to really be artsy. And so I brought in these little cubes, little rectangles, and so there are a variety of different colors. Always bring in your greenery, additional coffee table books, again, pops of color throughout this space. So my laundry room is what I call my speakeasy. In this room, even though it's a small space, I wanted to give some impact. If you gotta wash clothes, you might as well do it in a pretty space, right? So the first thing I did was got this bold wallpaper. Now, absolutely love it. And then I just styled it with some of my favorite artists, artwork around the space. I originally had some white washing dryers. That wasn't gonna work for my new speakeasy space. And so I got these black washing dryers. I also painted my cabinets in my favorite, tricorn black. I think that's a theme here. And then I purchased these. These are actually some big door knockers, so it can make an impact. And then it also picks up the colors that are inside of the wallpaper. And so this is my little laundry speakeasy. So I first redid this space for the one room challenge. And as you can see behind me, this beautiful, bold wallpaper I got with a partnership with Mitchell Black. And it's just the first thing that you see when you walk into the space. And so I just wanted to brighten it up, make it bold, make it a space when I come in. I wanna soak in the tub. It's just a beautiful space. And so I painted the floors black, and I also painted the cabinets here, that tricorn black, my favorite black that I love to use. And then I asked my beautiful friend Carmian to come and do this beautiful artwork inside of the washroom. It's just a beautiful space, and we love to come in here and just decompress as well, soak in the tub, or take a shower. I just wanted my home to just be a space that when I come home, I don't want to leave. Here we are 19 years later, still loving our space.
HGTV, I thought that was you out here. Listen, come in out of this heat and let's tour my home. Hey y'all, my name is David Quarles, interior designer and content creator from Memphis, Tennessee. Welcome to my home, but first of all, welcome to my living room. This is the first room that you get into when you come into my house, and I want people to feel comfortable. I want people to feel safe. I want people to feel like they can let their hair down and, you know, like tell me all their secrets. First things first, the natural light. This is kind of the room that greets me in the morning, and as you can see right now, it's beautiful. One thing I think every home needs are plants. It's a way to have some extra life in the space other than you. It helps you with the air quality, and they get a little architectural, they get beautiful, and every place should have plants, always. The level of comfort that I want people to feel is kind of captured in this reading nook. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I have books there. I sit in that area. I don't read much because I end up falling asleep, but it's comfortable for other people to sit there and read. Speaking of getting the party started, we have a lot of space to cover and not that much time, so let's head on over to the dining room. I prefer distinct rooms because I like to design for different portals. And so I want you to feel one set of emotions in the living room, very light, very cheery, but as soon as you walk into the dining room, I want you to feel as if you've walked into like your favorite restaurant, but the back room where you tell all the things, like where you have to lean in and have some conversations. Let's start our first things first with this light. So I think y'all know that I love disco balls, but I couldn't hang one and it'd be, well, I could have, but that's different. But anyway, I like this light. It's a capiche shell chandelier, and it kind of feels like a disco ball, which actually leads to my dance floor. I wanted to put a little bit of old world feel back into this home because it was just, what, concrete floors before, and that felt too cold. And so I wanted to put a classic black and white checkerboard, and it also doubles as a dance floor. The proudest DIY moment in my home is actually this mural that's right behind me. This wall behind me was painted, well, by me, I painted it. And it was a very special moment where I was like stressing out. There was a health event that happened in my family, and that was my way of relieving myself of some of the stress. I put the love into the walls. And so I actually painted this entire wall, but then in this iteration of the dining room, I wanted to put the wallpaper up, and I was like, I can't just let that go. I actually got someone to cut out the mural, so then the memory of that moment stays, and I got it framed, and now it lives on top of the wallpaper that is also a dedication to my grandmother, Ruth. Now y'all, I was actually getting ready to make you a coffee, but I thought I want to show you the bathroom first. It's one of the newly renovated spaces, and y'all, it's beautiful. Come on. So y'all, welcome to the bathroom, or as I affectionately call it, Le Bon Four. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right in French. The overall inspiration for this design was a mid-century modern boutique hotel set anywhere between like Paris and Italy. And so I wanted it to feel very moody, to where you could get ready and like it'd be a mood, or you know, like just a nice little vibe, but then also speak to the architectural details that were present during the mid-century modern era and in those two spaces. What is my favorite spot in this space? Y'all, we're actually sitting in it. So I've always wanted a soaking tub, but I never thought my bathroom was big enough for it. But we found the perfect one, and it now serves as the best space for me to like bathe by moonlight, like a little bubble bath action. Oh, so good. Although there are a lot of different details in here, randomly enough, I like the soap dish that's here. And so really leaning into that boutique hotel feel, like where the details really matter. And you'll see there's a lot of polished brass in here that'll patina naturally over time. But this soap dish has like a little cup holder on top that I like to use to put flowers. And so it's like an extra little space to like put a little happiness in the space. All right, so now we have made it to the kitchen part of the tour, y'all. And honestly, I know I said it about the last space, but this is my favorite just because I consider this where we have fun. So one thing, I wanted this kitchen to feel like eternal spring. Here in the city, it gets very drab in like the fall and winter, and I'm a summer baby. So through the colors and through the textures, I wanted it to be reflective of spring and summer. So that's why when you look at the floors are yellow to represent the sun, and then the green on the walls is to represent the green of the foliage that happens in spring and summer. This is also where we cook our meals, we have a good time, I dance, and I honestly get a chance to communicate my love language, which is food and cooking for others in this space. So now that we both have our coffees, let's check out some other spaces in the house because y'all, we have so much more to go and I can't wait to show you. Come on. Believe it or not, I just woke up from the best nap. So welcome to my bedroom, y'all. I'm super excited about this one because like we just finished this one up, but I believe again in those distinct rooms, not an open concept. I want to also transport you into a different world, and that's kind of what happened in this room. So I've not been to Morocco just yet. However, it was very much the inspiration here. So this mural, it's from Bellart Studio, and it further communicates like that stepping into another world, and it just, I don't know, it feels like I like took a chunk out of an old building and then placed a mural here. On a recent trip to Puerto Rico, there is a gallery that I've always wanted to shop from, and it's called Exodus. And I got some pieces that kind of speak to my heritage, but then as well kind of speak to the surrealism of it all. And so there's a painting here, she's beautiful, kind of looks like one of my ancestors, and I want all of my art to represent me in a way, if not by who I am, by what my ideology is. So y'all, listen, if I stay in this room any longer, I'm gonna fall back asleep. So let's go to the sunroom so I can show it to you. So now we've moved everything to the sunroom. And so this is the space where I'll either start the day or end the night. I come in the mornings to kind of collect my thoughts. I will be here with a little light jazz playing, and I just kind of get all of my thoughts out. And so for the end of the night though, I will come here with like a nice little libation, get a little wine, and I sit here and think about the day, the wins, the lessons, and how I can make tomorrow better. Some of my favorite things about this space are, well, again, all of the windows, because all of my plants live here and they need all of the light. And so I'm sitting right under here. So it's Felicidad. This is my fiddle leaf fig. She has traveled all around my home and she found that she likes it here. And so I rarely move her because if not, she'll drop a leaf. I told you about my love of disco balls, but this is one that's kind of traveled with me for so long, and it's about, what, 25 inches? And so it adds a bit of joy, and in the golden hour, it sends nice little light flares throughout the space. So for me, this feels very much like the lounge of the house. This is kind of like the speakeasy where we kind of gather and, you know, kind of just shoot the breeze, but we have our grown talk here. So y'all, that's the sunroom, and now we're gonna go and check out the outdoor spaces, but I need to hurry up and get out there because I've got two special guests. Come with me. What's up, y'all?
What's up?
When did you get here? Let me get it. Move on in. So y'all, welcome to my second favorite DIY moment here in my home, and it's the deck, or like I like to say, the lounge 4. And so this is something that me and my dad built together, and honestly, it was super fun when we did it, but it was meant to feel like an extension of the home, bringing a little bit of the indoors, outdoors. There's small little details like the ledge where you can place your drinks on, and I think what's special about this space is that it's built under a tree, so it has its little privacy, and with the lights up at night, there's like little fairy lights here, so I love it out here. Am I including all the details?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. It's honestly my favorite outdoor space to be in. Let me tell you, plenty of naps have been taken here. It's in the perfect little corner in the lounge and my favorite spot here. There's a nice space to eat on this side, and then that's kind of like where you get bottle service. It's the fun place for the VIP, for family. All right, so y'all, now let's go to the final outdoor space, which just happens to be another one of my favorite places in my home. So you wanna go and see it? I'm gonna tell you what it is, I gotta show you. So y'all, welcome to my actual favorite outdoor space. Come on in, come on. Ooh, wait a minute, shoes off in here too now. There we go. It's kind of like my place that I can come and like have my moment to myself. If I'm having a stressful day, I come in here when it's cooler and just sit, collect my thoughts. It's another thing that me and my dad built together. So it's another curated space that was built by family, and it feels just very meaningful because my mom is also the person who taught me to love plants. There is a disco ball here, so my love for disco balls will always follow around. I can come out, dance, party, and again, I like that when the sun hits it just right, it sends all of those nice little light glimmers around. Even at nighttime, it's a nice little vibe because I have lights in here and I can actually see the moon kind of pass by. What made me buy this house was basically its potential. It was beautiful as is, but it lacked a lot of personality. But it was perfect for me to be able to envision and see, you know what, I'm gonna place this here, this is gonna become this. I could add my personality and how I basically envision my life and how I plan to build it. And this seemed like the perfect canvas to do it. That was my home tour. HGTV, thank you so much for stopping by. Now it's time for me to go inside because it's nap time. See you.
Aloha HGTV, welcome to the Mahina Treehouse. Mahina means moon, by the way, in Hawaiian. We're up in the mountains, 5 minutes away from downtown, 5 minutes away from the beach, conveniently located close enough to anything that you may need. Welcome. My name is José Jubé. I am a father, art lover, and a motorcycle rider from Brazil. I don't know how else I can say. I've always loved climbing trees. So when we bought this house, I used to climb up here and have a glass of wine, and my daughter would climb higher than me with a book. And I always imagined the treehouse. I imagined, like, how cool would that be to have a treehouse? Until actually one day I decided to do it. Because the tree is just so beautiful, I wanted to be in it all the time. This is a Chinese banyan tree, between 75 and 100 years old. We worked with an arborist before we built the treehouse. And we knew from the arborist, given the size, the year, the age of the tree, how much weight we'll be able to put on without damaging the tree. We didn't cut a single limb. Everything was around the tree, so the tree can grow. We want to feel like the house was part of the tree. The tree is still the goddess, the owner of the space, and we're just trying to coexist with it. We try to work with the nature. It took us 6 years to build the treehouse, and it was probably the most difficult thing I've done in my life. Probably the most satisfying too. When we started building this thing, I didn't know how difficult it was. There's no crane, there's no 50, 100 people to help you. Basically you rig everything up on ropes and carabinas, and a lot of skill. But everybody at one point or another have to be hanging on the rig. It's all propane, it's all solar. There's no TV there. We do have internet, but we want you to connect with the tree, hear the birds in the morning, hear the birds now. It's about a connectivity with nature. That's what we're missing. So it was a very harmonious way to build the way we built. Let me show you around. So here you have a full kitchen. Lava rock on the walls. Those rocks, just incredible. Every single piece of wood that you see was reclaimed, from the posts to the ceiling, through the cabinets. They're all remnants. We're using endemic wood. We're not just going to the big box store and buying a bunch of lumber. It's all ohia, super dense, bugs don't like it, and it's very hard to get. And we did it all with it, which is pretty cool actually. It's very inviting, it's very cozy, I think, and it's very organic, Hawaiian feeling. This is we call it the lower deck. Any time of the day, you can sit here, you're looking at Diamond Head, you're looking at the flowers down below. I love the city lights, especially at night. You can see a little bit of the ocean, and you're still surrounded by all this greenery around you. It feels like you're floating on top of the city. I also wanted to honor my own heritage. I'm from Brazil, and we have a couple of hammocks I brought from Brazil, a chair that I bought from a Netflix set, a little giraffe that my sister gave me from Brazil. It wasn't just a Hawaiian or a Brazilian feel, but I wanted to have a tree feel. You're looking at nature, you're feeling this breeze, and it's like, I haven't even gone upstairs yet. Let me show you upstairs. Everything is held by cables. So the whole idea is we don't want this tree house to touch the ground. So just like the San Francisco Bridge has, it has cables. And basically it's supposed to resemble a tree branch, like seamless. It's like it's part of the tree in a way. It's part of a branch. And all the hardware that you see, it was all handmade. This is what I like to refer to as the bird's nest. What you see here is kind of hard to describe. You also made all the furniture as well. A lot of these things are from a company that we own. It's called Sunken Forest. We recover logs from the Patagonia lakes. Logs that have been lost hundreds of years ago and they're sitting on the bottom of the lake. We rescue them, dry this wood, and make custom furniture with them. We're not cutting a single tree to make really beautiful furniture. We're creating furniture by cleaning the lakes. And some of this wood came from Patagonia, Chile, from water logs. I find that to be very relevant in these days, when we have so much struggles with nature and the destruction that we're doing to it. So we try here to encourage the opposite. We try to keep it all natural edge. We're just letting nature be nature, even with the furniture. We made all the windows, all the doors, and we designed and fabricated all the truss, all the structural element of the roof, all handmade hardware. You're not gonna find a single screw or a single nail. It's all held together with stainless steel straps, so we wouldn't crack the bamboo and create places for bugs and things like that. This leads to the loft. I call it the Isabella loft. We wanted to make a stairway that it wasn't just a way to get to the loft, but it was an experience to get to the loft. So we used mango slabs, which turned out to be beautiful, very simplistic, very inviting to go up to the loft. So inside here you have all this beautiful live edge ohia. This was where my daughter Isabella used to sit and to read a book on this crotch of the tree right here. So that's why we call it the Isabella loft. It's very cozy, it's very inviting. We built it in a way where nothing gets wet. And also we made the bed in there as well, so everything is fit to that particular room. Down here, that leads down to the bathroom, and we obviously encourage people to walk backwards because it's very steep. Easy to go nose first. So here you have something really unique. It's a full bath, beautiful shower, and everything else that you need. You wanted the tree to be part of the bathroom and make it feel like you're connected to it. As you can see, it goes through one window and get out on the other. I also wanted the bathroom to have a little lanai where you can get out of the bathroom and just go out into a lanai. Very cozy and very Hawaiian. This was, the best way to put it, this was like a love project, a passionate project that I not only love to do it, but I love to share with other people, and I think that's what we're trying to do here. We have made a lot of friends, great friends from this experience, so from that sense, it's hard to put a price tag on it. But I spent all the money that I had and some that I didn't have to do this thing. Thank you HGTV for doing this. I'd love to invite you and the friends who are watching and those who are not watching as well to come and visit us in the Mahina Treehouse. Thanks for coming.
Hi, aloha HGTV. I'm Eliana. Welcome to my home at the end of Waikiki Beach. Come on in. This house, it's a bungalow style, so it's my little beach bungalow. We're at the base of Diamond Head. We call it Leahi in Hawaiian. I'm born and raised in Hawaii, and I grew up surfing in Waikiki. Waikiki is so bustling and busy, but this is sort of this little oasis at the end of that strip where you're kind of, whoa, what is this little cute neighborhood? And it really does have such a neighborhood feel. So I feel so fortunate to get to live like a step away from the beach here. It's such a luxury to live by the ocean, honestly. I feel really, really lucky. It's really just a great neighborhood. This lanai is so great because these houses are small, and so everyone needs more space. You kind of want to be outside where you can entertain or just wave to people walking by. My family and I, we barbecue. We just kind of have poo-poos. A poo-poo is an appetizer. A lot of times it's used as a verb. So let's go poo-poo on the porch, go eat some appetizers on the porch. It could be a cheese platter, or it could be a bowl of poke, or it could be chips. My husband calls it surf and sip. And so his friends will come over and they'll go for a surf and just kind of hang out here all afternoon into the evening. It's just like a kind of a community gathering spot, honestly. So, and that's just a special part of this house, really. And so I feel so fortunate this is open because it just really does blend to that indoor-outdoor living that we love to do so much. Yeah, a lot of little nooks to enjoy out here. This is one of my favorites. This is a pune'e, a Hawaiian daybed essentially. And I love this. It's a rattan, and it's part of a set that was my tutus. Tutu is my grandma. We say tutu in Hawaiian for grandmother. So it's a lot of history in these pieces of furniture. Anyways, yeah, come on inside. So this is our living space, kind of where everything happens. This rattan set, along with the daybed, was part of my tutus collection, and I covered the cushions at one point years ago. And then, of course, I have a mixture of other pieces. My friend does this beautiful partnership with Moroccan rugs, so she brings in these gorgeous rugs. I made the pillows myself because I love fabric, and so I collect it incessantly and then make a pillow, and also the yellow. And, you know, of course, I have a huge collection of books. The books in here are all really special to me. And of course, my book. And the surfboards, my son's favorite board right now. And yeah, any Hawaiian family has a lot of surfboards. There's a lot more outside too. And then I always like to have my house full of flowers. I think when you kind of create your own home, it's really just a collection of things you love and things that sort of speak to your travels or are meaningful to you. And I don't really worry too much about it all sort of going together, because I think it just does if you love it. You know, it's just part of you. So I just love this style. It is really island home to me. Yeah, so I guess you could call me a lei maker by trade. My tutu was a really beautiful lei maker and known throughout Hawaii for her lei. And so, you know, I always grew up making lei, but really started in the last 15 years, sort of using my lei for photo shoots and selling a little bit, but more sort of just putting my lei out there. And in the last year, 2 years, I created this book, Lei Aloha. I really wanted to sort of put that out into the world and show this huge part of Hawaiian culture that is so integral in all of our lives. And I'm so grateful that it's out in the world. So I'm wearing a lei po'o. Lei po'o is a head lei, po'o's head, so it's a lei po'o. Again, my tutu was pretty renowned for her lei po'o that she would share. And so I think it's just in us, in my sister and I and my cousins, that, you know, a special occasion's happening, you're gonna wear a lei. It's a special occasion having you here today, so I'm wearing a lei po'o. I'm, you know, born and raised in Hawaii. I'm Native Hawaiian. I feel like my tutu, my grandmother especially, had the greatest influence on my own personal style. All of our hats pretty much are from her collection. Most of our art. I love that about my tutu, is that she really appreciated the art and the artistry, and I was raised with such a strong identity and a strong sense of what it was to be from Hawaii, so I'm so grateful. So my house is so small. Me and my husband always joke that it's just like 2 large steps into the den. It's just a nook, you know, it's a spot for reading, a spot where we can display art, photos, books, shell lei from Tahiti, and things from Hawaii. Artwork by my son, of course, random pottery, all of our found items, our found objects, our favorite things, anything that like makes your like heart happy. I love having a big display case. This is a beautiful bar cart. I love the blue. It's sort of become this like grounding point in my house. So of course it has, you know, bar cart things and great cocktail books, inspirational Aseline travel books. And that's sort of my area for people we don't have with us anymore. Another step takes you to our dining room. It can be homework, this can be family dinner. It's just a gathering spot, you know, and this table is an heirloom piece from my tutu, koa, a beautiful use of that precious wood. These 3 pieces are Alan Akina, the same artist is over there. Good friend of my tutus, and he really just found so much beauty in the Hawaiian maiden. These all remind me of my tutu, actually, with the lei and in a mu'u, and I just love this like lounging Hawaiian woman draped in lei and very royal. Those are my favorite pieces of art. Yeah, so then this is our kitchen. Most of life happens here, of course, homework, cooking. Honestly, most parties right here. This is kind of the spot. I love this space. I love the open shelving. I love to cook, so I have tons of cookbooks. I also love glassware. And a lot of these, you know, glasses were actually my tutus, these cool champagne flutes. My other auntie makes these. She has a really cool company, another Native Hawaiian designer. So I love those. Of course, I have artwork from my nieces. I've got artwork from my son. Just again, a mixture of like all the different things I love, eras and styles and everything. Another thing I love about this is just the preservation of these beautiful French doors. This is such a cool thing. And these doorknobs, I mean, you don't see this anymore. That's original, you know, so that's not something put in. These are the original hardware. I love the attention to preserving these French doors and these windows, and it shows a lot of character. Yeah, so this is, gosh, I love this bedroom, mostly because of lying here and being able to stare out into the yard. There's so many different trees and all the different shades of green. It's just like a peaceful place. I like to keep my bedroom sort of tranquil. I do sort of like a calm space. And so besides the beautiful view of all the different shades of green, I sort of like to keep this spot a little bit neutral. My husband actually made me this beautiful wood box, which is, again, another typical sort of use of koa wood. It's another heirloom piece. And you know, I just love shells. I actually started a Hawaiian heirloom jewelry company in the last 2 years with a girlfriend. It's called Hiei Heirlooms of Hawaii, and that is what I'm wearing, these very loud bangly bangles. This one that says Meleana, which is my name, was actually gifted to my mom with my name, and then my mom wore it and then passed on to me when I was 16, and I wear one of hers. And then this was my tutus, Amelia Anna, which she gave to me when I was turned 30. This one I was given when I graduated from high school. These are made for my babies. And then the others are, you know, primarily part of our new collection that my partner and I created ourselves. I never take them off. I surf, I run, I'm this loud all the time. They're meant to be worn, and your energy and love and supposed to be put into them every day and then passed on. And so that's why I wear so many, is because I'm not gonna take off the ones that are passed on to me and that I've been wearing since I was 16. So I just keep layering them on, you know? But they're part of me, meant to be enjoyed. And other than, you know, a dresser and places I can just throw some fresh flowers when I want, we have, you know, our cozy bed. It's a place where we just hang out and stare out into the greens, like I was saying. Usually my son's in the middle. It's just, you know, it's just a nice little spot. Let's head out to the backyard and make some lei. And this is our back lanai, another spot that we tend to just hang out at all the time. We store all of our toys here, fins, boogie boards, our bikes, way too many surfboards. Just another great spot. It's a great place to congregate. It's also one of my favorite spots to make some lei. Let's see. Finish lei. Okay, so this flower I'm working with here is called puakenikeni. And we're just gonna layer them onto our lei needle. And what we call this style is to kui, or to string. Kui means sew in Hawaiian, so you're using a needle and thread, essentially. It just reminds me of coming up to my tutus, and she'd walk out with armfuls. And I always put a little ball at the end so they don't slide. Then our family signature would be our little tea leaf bow. I go like this, pinch them in the middle, nice and tight. Finished puakenikeni lei, ready to share on this Aloha Friday. It's a great day to have lei to share. Thank you so much. I so loved getting to share our special home with you. This place is such a special place to us, filled with so much aloha. I love this spot, I love this place on the island, and it was such a fun time getting to show you around our little house here in the end of Waikiki. I hope you enjoyed the tour. Mahalo.